Chapter 6 Safety and First Aid. We will explore safety at home, safety on the road, first aid for cuts and wounds, burns, fracture or a sprain, nosebleed, insect bite, animal bite, and snake bite, gas leak in the kitchen, safety in the playground. Safety means prevention from mishaps. Being conscious helps in keeping us as well as those around us safe from getting hurt. Let us learn about some places and situations in which we should follow the safety rules. Safety at home. Do not keep your toys and books thrown across the house. You may trip over misplaced object. Walk carefully over wet and slippery floors. Keep the floors dry. Do not run up and down on the stairs in a hurry. You can slip and fall. Do not play around the sharp objects and tools like knife, blade, screwdriver, etc. Do not touch electric switches or electrical gadgets with wet hands as you can get a shock. Never throw a burning matchstick randomly, especially on papers or clothes. It can cause a fire. Gas leak in the kitchen. If there is a gas leak in the kitchen, you get to know about it through the peculiar smell of gas that spreads everywhere in the house. In such a situation, turn off the gas regulator, open all the doors and windows to let the gas spread and go out. Do not operate any electrical switches, it may cause an explosion. Do not light a matchstick near a leaking cylinder. Inform the gas agency immediately to repair or replace the leaking cylinder. Fire. A fire can be caused due to many reasons such as electrical faults, accidents while cooking or due to gas leakage, carelessness while handling firecrackers, matchsticks, candles, etc. may also cause fire. Accidental fires can be prevented by following safety measures. Children should not be allowed to play with fire. The electrical wirings should be checked regularly for any faults in them. Never keep a kerosene stove on the floor. It can get knocked over, spilling the kerosene and causing a major fire. Never keep combustible things like kerosene, petrol, and oil near your cooking gas stove. Always keep fire extinguisher for emergency use. In case fire breaks out, following steps can be useful in saving lives. If a building or a house catches fire, call the nearest fire station immediately. Small fires can be put out with a fire extinguisher. A fire caused due to electrical faults should never be put out with water as it can cause an electric shock. Sand or a fire extinguisher should be used to put out such fires. A fire caused due to petrol or kerosene should not be put out with water. Oil, petrol or kerosene is lighter than water and will float on the fire, and it will not only keep burning but will spread further. Do the activity. Make a list of all emergency phone numbers that you may require in a case of an emergency. Hospital, father, neighbor, fire station, mother, police station. Safety on the roads. Roads are the place where most accidents occur. At any time there are a lot of people walking or driving on road. We should remember certain safety measures to save ourselves and others from accident on the road. Follow the safety rules on the road. Wear a helmet while riding a two-wheeler vehicle. Do not jump from a running bus. Stand in a queue while boarding a bus. Wear the seat belt while traveling in a car. Cross the road only at zebra crossing or use a subway to cross the road. Follow all the road signs. Safety in the playground. Follow the rules of the game when you are playing. Do not push each other from swings. Do not play games that can cause injuries. Do not jump off a high place, you can break your bone. Do not fight or hit while playing. First aid. We should always be careful to protect ourselves from accident or injuries, but in some cases around us gets hurt due to any reason, we should be able to provide them with the immediate basic medical help. First aid, as the name suggests, is the foremost help given to a victim of sudden injury or illness. It is usually given by someone present in the immediate surrounding of the victim while the expert medical help arrives. It is important for everybody to have the knowledge of basic first aid and one should follow these. Use your common sense. Do not do more than you know. First, stay calm. Call an adult immediately for help. Give first aid if possible. Call an ambulance or doctor if needed. Did you know first aid is the first help given to an injured person before the proper medical aid arrives? First aid is given in a different ways to deal with different types of emergencies. Some ways to deal with some emergencies are being discussed below. Cuts and wounds. In case of a cut or wound, the primary concern should be to stop bleeding and preventing infection in the infected area. So follow the below given steps. Wash your hands with soap and water before giving first aid to a wounded person. Clean the wound with water, soap, and an antiseptic lotion. Cover the wound with a bandage to prevent germs from getting into the wound and to stop bleeding. In case the bleeding does not stop, tie a tight bandage called tourniquet about the wound to stop heavy bleeding. If a wound is deep, the victim should be immediately taken to a doctor. A very deep wound may require stitches. If a wound or a cut is caused by a rusty metallic object, there are chances of a disease called tetanus. An anti-tetanus injection helps prevent this disease. Burns. If a person's clothes catches fire, ask him or her to lie down on the ground and roll. This will help to put out the fire on the clothes, and as the flames burns upward, they do not spread to the rest of the body. Knowledge tree. Burns can be classified into first degree, second degree and third degree burn. A third degree burn can damage up to the bones. The victim whose clothes are on fire should never run, as running fans the flames and spreads the fire. Put a blanket around the person, as this cuts off the air supply and thus put out the fire. Do not apply any ointment or cream on the burn area. If the burn is bad, cover it with sterilized gauze and a loose bandage. Do not puncture blisters. In case of minor burn, keep the affected area under cool, running water for at least 15 to 20 minutes. For firefighting, in case there is a fire in a building, inform the nearest fire station. In case of fire caused by petrol, do not throw water on it. Water will flare up the fire. This is because petrol, being lighter than water, floats above water and keeps burning. Put out the fire by throwing lots of sand or mud on it. When a fire has been caused by defective wiring or electric gadget, do not throw water on it. This can cause electrocution. Immediately turn off the main switch. Smother the fire by throwing sand. Use a fire extinguisher. Fracture or sprain. A fracture is a crack in the bone. An injury to a muscle near a joint is called a sprain. In case of fracture or sprain, follow the given instruction. Do not massage on the sprained or fractured area. Do not move the fractured bone without proper support. A splint can be applied to give support to the broken bone. A splint is a device used to maintain a body part in a fixed position. A piece of cardboard around the broken bone can act as a splint. If a bone of the hand is broken, make a sling using a cloth or bandage to give it support. Prevent movement. Tie a firm bandage around the joint. Keep the bandage wet with the cold water. Keep the victim still until the doctor arrives. Nosebleed. On a hot and a dry day, blood sometimes trickles down from the nose. This happens when thin tubes carrying blood inside the nose burst. Loosen the clothing around the person's neck. Ask the person to sit up straight on a chair with the head leaning slightly forward. Press the bleeding side of the nose firmly with one finger. Ask the person to breathe through the mouth. Put an ice pack, ice in a piece of cloth or a wet cloth on the nose and on the back of the person's neck. Ask the person not to blow the nose for a few hours even after the bleeding has stopped. In case of heavy bleeding, consult a doctor immediately. Insect bite. Remove the insect's sting from the bitten portion with a tweezer. Put ice cube on the bitten area. Apply an antiseptic cream. Animal bite. Cases like dog bites need immediate attention because it can cause a dangerous disease called rabies. Follow the safety measures. Clean the wound with the soap and water. This will wash away the saliva of the dog. Put an antiseptic cream on the bitten portion and rush the victim to the doctor. Snake bite. A snake bite requires immediate attention as the poison spreads very fast in the body through the blood and affects heart and the nervous system, which can cause death. Word bank. First aid. The first help given to an injured person. Fracture, a crack in a bone. Sprain, a twist in a joint that causes swelling and pain. Fire extinguisher, a device used to put off a small fire. Ice pack, a bag filled with ice which is used to cool parts of the body. Splint, a piece of wood or a cardboard used to hold a broken bone in a position. Sling, a bandage passing over the shoulder to support an injured upper limb.